Well, what's going on, guys? It's Jordan back today with another video. And in today's video, we're going to take a look at CHAINLINK and see what it did in each one of its bull cycles and what the significance is of the pattern that's forming right now. So if that sounds good to you guys, let's jump right on in to the video. As we jump right on in to the weekly chart of CHAINLINK, as you guys can see, I have pretty much the entire bull run. You know, you can pretty much say CHAINLINK whole move is just one giant bull run, but I split it up into three different parts. And just looking at it right here, you guys can already see, you know, pretty much what is going on in each one of these bull cycles. So what we did, if I can get my brush tool here, guys, what we did is when we, starting with the first cycle here, we bottomed out, right? So what we did is we got our initial pump up, and then we bottomed out right at this support line here that I have drawn. And I have this green box to kind of, you know, indicate where that first bottom out point was, right? And then the second one, what did we do, guys? On the daily chart, this is a little bit more obvious for the second cycle here, but nonetheless, we did get a bottom out at this second purple line here that extends across, right? And what did we do in this third cycle, right? Well, we bottomed out here, right, after our initial pump, and then we pumped up again. So after each time, after we bottom out that first time, we pump up, right? We pump up and we pump up, right? And we make our all-time high, each indicated by the red box on all the way up. So what did we do after that? So each time it is pretty much the same thing. We end up getting this downtrend here, down to the bottom of the purple line again, right? And we have the second green box that kind of illustrates this on each one of the bull cycles so far. And then what did we do, right? We pumped up again and we made a lower high on each one, right? So after we bottom out for the second time on this purple line, we pump up and we get a second impulse up that is lower than the previous all-time high. Same thing here, we bottomed out, had a pump up that was lower than the previous all-time high. Second thing, we pumped up, had a lower high than the previous all-time high. Now, this is where we start to kind of get a little prediction game going on here. So what did we do in the last two cycles? So in the last two cycles of consolidation, after we got that orange box here, which is the second impulse up, we end up coming back down and retesting the purple line for a third time each time. This one didn't go all the way down, but pretty for the most part, you guys can get my generalization of where I'm coming from for that. But we bottom out for the third time. Same thing here after the orange box and the second impulse. We come back down and retest the purple line for the third time again. And then what did we do? So this last time, I think what would happen this last time is if we didn't have, you know, the craziness and the mania that we had back here in March, this thing probably would have pumped up sooner. You know, instead of over here, it probably would have pumped up right here if we didn't have this craziness back here in March that we don't want to talk about, right, guys? But you guys can see what pretty much happened. We got another impulse up for the most part. I think, you know, either it would have gone like this, or we would have just went sideways here, kind of hugging the 20-week moving average. This time, once we got that third bottom out, we came up, kind of rid the 20-week moving average before getting our next impulse up to the upside. We actually went up impulse to the upside, got a rejection on the previous all-time high, came back down slightly, almost to the 20-week moving average, and then we continued on up. Kind of similar what we did back here, guys. If we erase this kind of craziness back here in March, we got a pump up, right? We also got support on this for the fourth time. We got a pump on up to the all-time high, got rejected on initially, came back down generally to the 20-week moving average, and then continued up to the upside. So based on what I just said, guys, let's try to think about what is going to happen for this third consolidation cycle we're in. So far, I believe we're pretty much at that orange box range, right? Pretty much midway through the cycle. And we have a couple different options that could happen. So what we could do is we could break that 20-week moving average, come back down, retest this, right? Make that, make that third green box that we could possibly need to see again, right? Make that third green box here, and then we continue moving on up to the upside, hugging that 20-week moving average. That's probably going to be coming over like this, hugging that 20-week moving average before retesting the all-time high, coming back down to retest the 20-week again, and then moving on up. That's what we would do if it followed this down here. That is what I think is going to happen, because up here we had a big kind of mini fake bull run up here for CHAINLINK before getting obviously a capitulation in March. So I think we're pretty much going to follow this kind of time frame down here, which was a little bit more natural of a, kind of a rounded bottom action before we're getting a next move up. That kind of made a little more sense to me. So I think that's what's going to happen. I think we're eventually going to come back down to retest the bottom of this, but that doesn't need to happen. Obviously, the bullish market that's happening right now is extremely bullish. So maybe this 20-week average just keeps moving here. We get another bounce off of it here. We just keep riding it until we come back up and then we break it, right? So the 20-week average keeps moving up. We eventually need to meet the all-time high, and that's when we break off of the upside. So like I said, guys, that's pretty much what I think is going to happen. Is we're going to follow this bottom consolidation period before moving on up to the upside again, right? And then continuing again. You guys can see each time it's getting a little bit smaller each time. So possibly this is what could happen this time, or the second option, like I said, guys, where we come back down to retest, about this, $7 area one more time before moving on up to the upside. But that's kind of what I have for the cycles. Now I wanted to take a quick look at the CHAINLINK Bitcoin pair and see what is going on with that. So we did just break a major support level on the CHAINLINK Bitcoin pair. As you guys can see right here, this was such a huge support level all the way since pretty much April 2019. You guys can see we got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6 touches on this, and we recently did just break it. Now, I think the most logical support level is up here, back in the 20th of April of 2020. We could come back down to retest that before getting a move back up to the upside, which means that CHAINLINK could bleed on Bitcoin for a little bit longer, which would make sense if CHAINLINK bled on Bitcoin if we did have to come back down to retest. If Bitcoin kind of stayed where it is and CHAINLINK had to come back down to retest the support level again, kind of following what happened down here, right? That would make perfect sense if that did actually happen. So just broke a major support level, and that's what I kind of see. I kind of see this as the next kind of, we don't have much price action right here, as you guys can see. We just have a little bit of a wick here, a little bit of a wick here. I don't think that's going to mean much. I think we're going to need to retest this at some point, just because there's nothing really in between here. So that's kind of the video I had on CHAINLINK today, guys. I hope you guys enjoyed today's video. If you guys did, please smack that subscribe button down below. Love when you guys do that. I don't know which YouTuber doesn't like that, but also go follow me on Twitter. I left the link to it down below in the pin of the comments section down below. Just click on that link if you guys have a Twitter and press that follow button. That also would mean the world to me as well. And I'll see you guys in tomorrow's video. Stay frosty.